Hello students, welcome to today's session. In today's session we are going to discuss the new chapter which is chapter 8. This chapter is called as VA editor. Okay. And this chapter we are going to discuss an editor called as VA editor, which is basically used for editing or writing a program, or if you want to create a file, any kind of interpretation or any kind of file if you want to create, we are going to use this editor called as VA editor. Okay. Now so next we are going to see the next slide, which is introduction to VI editor. So VI editor is, as you can see here, it is a screen oriented text editor. So it is used to create a text file, and it can also be used for creating or writing many different kind of programs. Okay. So which is powerful and fast, and it is available in all kind of Unix operating systems, either it be Unix or it can also be Linux. Okay, so all kind of Unix and Linux operating system will have this VA editor. Okay, I'll just show you how to use this in uh, our Sigwin software also. Now, so it is having similar implementation. See, when you consider VA editor, the layout, the design and everything will be similar in all the different types of Linux or Unix operating system. So it is considered as similar implementation is used across different boards. Okay, and it does not have menu, so there is no menu concept in uh, this VA editor. So we'll not have, or we are not going to see the things like menu editor in VA editor. If you consider you have used MS Word, MS Excel and everything, whenever you use it, we'll see a menu there at the top of the window. So that is not the case with VA editor, which does not have any kind of menu. Okay, so it uses few resources and it is very user friendly. And this VA editor is going to have three modes called as command mode, and you have one more mode called as insert mode. Okay, so these things we are going to discuss. So these are the different types of modes we have, which is command mode, insert mode, and we have line mode. Okay, so we're going to discuss what are these different types of modes. Each and every mode is responsible for specific kind of functions. Now, so you can see, so the basic commands of VA editor. So when you see the basic commands of VA editor, the first command what you can see, first we have the keyword called as VI followed by file name. So what it does, it creates a file, and if it is not existing, it is going to create a file. If it is existing, it just what it does, it is just going to open the existing file. Okay, the second command is vi -r followed by file name. When I use this, it opens a file in a read only mode, so you cannot edit that file, you can just only read the information from the file. Similarly, we can also use view file name. So this command is also used to open the file only in the form of a read only mode. Okay, now here I'm going to just go to Windows and I'm going to type, we're going to open our software which is Sigwin. Okay, now here if I want to open a VI editor, so what we are going to use, we are going to use the command called as vi space. If you want to create a file, I'm going to give the file name. See the file name, I'm going to give it as file1.txt. If I press enter, so you can see a file name at the bottom, that is say at the end of this line, whatever you have at the end of the screen, you can see file 1.txt, which is a new file that is created. And whenever you open a new file, so it will, by default, it is going to open in command line mode. Okay, so and other two modes what we have, that is insert mode, and we have also one more mode called as line mode. When it is going to start and when we are going to use that we are going to discuss now. So coming for this operations or different operation modes that we have. So first mode that we have is command line mode. In this mode, it enables us to perform some administrative tasks. What are the tasks that you can do? You can save a file, you can find and replace some text, you can execute some commands, you can cut and paste. All those things can be done in which mode? In command line mode. We're going to see some set of say what we consider it as commands. Those commands, I'm going to give you a list of PDF file. So in that file, it contains all the different types of commands that you can use in command line mode. Okay, so which are basically used for doing any administrative tasks like saving the file, replacing and finding, executing of a command, cut and pasting of the command. Everything can be done in command mode. So it is the default mode. Whenever you start a VI editor, it is going to open in command line mode. Insert mode. In insert mode, what happens? It enables us to insert a text. How to enter into insert mode is when you press a key called as I. Okay. So when I press I keyword in our keyboard, that makes us or makes our command interpreter. So as we discussed, insert mode, when I press a keyword called as I or a simple key called as I, so it will move from command mode to this mode called as insert mode. Okay, so we'll just go to Sigwin. So I'll open the Sigwin software. You can see this is what you're going to see it is in the form of command mode. Now I need to open an insert mode. If I want to open insert mode, I'll press the key I. Once I press the key I, it will start taking the input. Whatever input I take or whatever input I give, that input will be taken into this particular text or this particular file. Okay, now here, so you can see once I press C, now it is going to delete the content. Okay, I can delete the content from this particular file, whatever text I have typed. So when you press I keyword, this it will enter into the mode called as insert mode. Okay, next, when you want to enter into line mode or the third mode called as line mode, when you want to enter into line mode, I need to use the colon symbol. So I'll press the colon. So once I press colon, this particular VI editor, now it will enter into the mode called as line mode. Now here, if I just use W, it is like saving the content, whatever you have changed in the text file will be saved. So I'll use W, so it will be saved. Now I want to come out of this line mode or I want to come out of this say VI editor. In that case, I'll use same shift colon. So now it will come enter into line mode. Then I'll press Q. When I press Q, it will come out of the VI editor and it will come back to our terminal. Okay. Now if you go through that topic what we have discussed, so from command mode, default mode will be what? Command mode. So from command mode, if you want to enter into line mode, we'll be using I. From line mode, if I want to enter into from insert mode, if I want to enter into line mode, then I'll be using colon. So once I press colon, this will enter into say line mode. So once it enters into line mode, we can use these symbols as we discussed here, like Q stands for quit, W stands for save, Z stands for, or 2 times if I type Z, it will save and exit from the VI editor. Okay, so this is clear. Next we'll go to the next line. In this slide I'm going to list out what are the different types of files we have. So I'll just go to the command list. Now once I open this command list, so this is the command list I have. So in this list we'll see all the different types of commands that we are going to use in our VI editor. So you can see first in command line mode we have command line mode versus input line mode. Input mode, in input mode we are going to give the text as input. Now VI editor starts in command mode, so by default it will start in command mode. The positioning commands operate only while VA editor is in command line mode. Whatever list of commands that we given, that will be working only when we are using in command line mode. To switch from VI, if you want to switch your VI editor to input mode, we want to enter by entering any one of the several input commands. If you want to give any say if you want to give input into the file, or into the file if you want to give some data, we need to enter into input mode. So how to enter into input mode, that you can see here. You can press I. When you press I, what happens, you'll be able to insert before cursor. Append is when you want to add data after the cursor. When I press O, it will open a line, that is it's going to open a new line. So when you press capital O, it is going to open a new line before the cursor. Okay, and R, insert file after current line. So after the current line, if you want to insert a new file, or when you want to open a new file and that data has to be copied to the present file, in that case we'll be using R colon R followed by file name. Okay, next, apart from that, we'll have some file management commands. What are the file management commands? Is whenever you want to write edit before the file name, whenever you want to write anything onto the file, so then I'll be using W. Whenever you want to save and quit or write and quit, we'll be using WQ, which is nothing but whatever you have made the changes, that will be saved and we are going to come out of the program. Next, you can see colon Q and exclamatory symbol. What this does is, it is going to quit without saving the changes, without saving whatever changes you have made. If you want to come out of the file, in that case we'll be using this command. ZZ, it is same as WQ, that is write and quit. If I use colon SH, that is going to execute any shell commands. Shell commands, whatever you have written in the program, if you want to execute that, we'll be using SH. Okay, and other type of functions like Windows based functions, what you have, scroll up, scroll down, page forward, or like page up, page down. And if you want to search something, so or search from the beginning or search from the last line to the first line, in that case we'll be using these symbols like slash, or we'll be using question mark. It is like find and replace. How we are going to use things like find and replace. Okay, so in our Windows, the same way I can also use it here by using these commands like either slash string as well as question mark string, and a redraw like undo, and you have a repeat search, and you have an all these are different types of window based motion commands. You just remember a few of the commands which are very important. So just remember the commands, these commands which are very important. Next, coming for changing modes. So change modes from input mode. If you want to come back to other mode, we'll be using escape. So when you press escape, it'll come back to the, it'll come out of the input mode. So in input mode, when you come out of the input mode, again by default it will be in command mode. Okay, So when you want to change line, we'll be using blank line. When you want to empty every lines, then we'll be using a command like cc. C followed by dollar symbol, it will change to the end of the line. Okay, so again, these are the different types of change commands that you have. And after that, we'll come across cursor motion, how to move the cursor. If you want to move the cursor to the leftmost corner, just like home in our Windows, so in Unix we'll be using H. Middle of the line we'll be using M, so we'll be using L. To the left corner, back character will be used by H, and down a line, up a line, beginning of the line, end of the line, and to forward a character and one word forward, back by one word, find a character, so repeat, um, find. All these things can be done with the help of these commands called as HML. So the respective commands will be used for respective functions in the command mode. In insert mode, if you want to changes during insert mode, when you want to do some changes during insert mode, so back one character, when you want to go to the previous character, then I'll be using control H. When you want to go one word, I'll be using control W. When you want to go to the beginning of the insertion, we'll be using control U. Okay, next, similarly deletion commands, what we have for insertion insert mode, like when you want to delete a line, delete a word, delete n number of words, all those things are listed here. We'll be using DW, DNW, delete previous word, all those things. These are the commands for deletion. And again, recovery, to put general buffer cursor after, say, whenever you copy something and if you want to print something, just like uh, I mean say previous changes, if you want to undo, in that case we'll be using recovering, which is if I delete it by mistake, if you want to get that back, we'll be using this p symbol, which is just like paste. Okay, and uh, move text from old file to new file. Whenever you want to copy text from one file to another file, in that case we'll be using these commands. Okay, so you can see edit new, I mean colon e followed by new. So these are the things that will help us to copy text from or data from one file to other file. And regular expressions, this will be very important when you are searching any string. When you are searching any string from the file, we'll be using these expressions like say exclamation symbol or cap symbol will be used to match beginning of the line, at the beginning of the line. When you want match at the end of the line, we'll be using dollar symbol. Single character, if you want to match, I'll be using dot. If you want to match any previous characters, we'll be using asterisk. So any number of characters or any characters if you want to match, I'll be using dot asterisk. So these are very important. And undo, we have these symbols like U and small u and capital U. Similarly, we have other type of rearrangement icons like copy and paste. It is called as yank and put, so which is nothing but copy and paste. For that we'll be using Y and P, which stands for paste. Okay, and again, other parameters which are not that important, you can just go through these set of parameters or list of uh, commands that you have. So and apart from that, address components, like if you want to point to the current line, it will be pointed by dot. If you want to point a particular line, will be representing n, it will represent the line number, and it will be followed by uh, if you want to the current line plus, if you want to add some n lines, we'll be using plus m. Last line, which is dollar, and string means if when you see a slash, it will represent whatever you're going to write, it will be considered as a string. Okay, within the slash forward slash, if you write anything, it will be considered as a string. So entire file, if you want to use, I'll be using percentage. So these are the different types of commands that you have in your VI editor. Okay, so here the important commands you need to remember is some of the commands like how to create a file, how to move these commands, like input commands what you have, these commands are important. And apart from that, we need these files, which is these commands which are important. And apart from that, we need to go through what are the different types of commands that are used for string matching. So these commands are important. So apart from that, you just go through copy and replace commands, so which are very important. Okay, so by this session we are going to stop here. So because this is about our basic commands that you're going to use in our VI editor. Thank you.